Hello, and welcome back to our final episode of Legacy of Ash. We've been playing this game for over 2 years now, and if you look back, this Legacy of Ash was actually the second video we ever put out on this channel, right behind the Welcome to Nerds and Stuff video. So we've been playing this game for a long time, and we put a lot of time and energy and love and a little bit of hatred into this series, and it's a really surreal moment right now. We are about to start the final hour of our campaign. I wanted to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for making it 70 plus hours into this story. There's been some really incredible moments, there's been some really laughable moments, and there's been some really silly moments. And I think that we take a lot of pride in what we do here at Nerds and Stuff. And we've only been doing this for 2 years, but I, for one, and I hope that I'm speaking for everyone, has had an amazing experience over these past 2 years playing in the Edge of the Empire system. I wanted to take a moment to basically say that when this campaign is finished, we will not be returning to the Legacy of Ash universe or galaxy or story arc for some time. We're going to explore some other systems, some of the books that we're super jazzed on my bookshelf to get to. And we understand, and I'm very nervous and excited to enter into this new chapter. We've been playing Legacy of Ash as long as the channel's been a thing, and we understand that some of you are just here for the Star Wars content, and I would like to invite you to check out some of the other stuff. If you have enjoyed these last 70 hours, I can assure you that there's something else on this channel that you will love. Maybe not just as much, but there's a story for everyone here at Nerds and Stuff, and our storytelling is not just limited to greatness in this campaign. We have several other campaigns, such as the Friends Like These. I know by the time this comes out, we would have probably announced our upcoming campaign, as well as we'll be working on some other future stuff as well. So check out Friends Like These, check out some of our one-shots. We will be playing new games as much as possible on this channel, and I wanted to take a moment to thank each and every one of you for supporting us, telling your friends about us, sitting through all of our dick jokes and all that other fun stuff. It's been a really crazy experience these last 2 years with you, watching the channel grow, watching the campaign grow, and just seeing how far we've come in these last 2 years of being a channel. And I just wanted to thank each and every one of you, especially our Patreon backers. You guys, anyone who's ever pledged a single cent to this channel has made and empowered us to put out the best content that we can. This camera, this microphone, everything that we have, everything that we put into this channel was paid for by Patreon, and the Patreon backers will continue to empower us to make great content in the future. So thank you so much. Every single person who's ever been a Patreon backer will be listed in the credits after this episode. If you are interested in backing us on Patreon, please go to patreon.com/nerdsandstuff. And while you won't be featured in this series credits, any campaign that you are a backer for from here on out that we do credits for, you will be listed as a associate producer, whatever fun title I come up with for that campaign. So thank you so much for all of your support, whether it was financial or just social, telling everyone around you about us. It's been so surreal running this campaign for the last 2 years. I hope that you've enjoyed it. I hope that we've grown by playing it. I know we've enjoyed it. And without further ado, here's the finale of Legacy of Ash. Previously on Legacy of Ash.
Episode 0. A new dope. Oh no! Death Star! Good thing a really cool drunk guy's gonna save everyone.
Episode 1. Corellia. We just bought a really nice ship called the Cobalt Crate from a really nice guy named Bango. And I hope Remy doesn't die on his swoop race tomorrow.
Episode 2. Still on Corellia. Well, I sure hope we get off Corellia tonight. 11 hours later, nope.
Episode 3. Hope's Light. Meat truck! Wait, what happened to Anders?
Episode 4, Frozen Dantooine. The name's RC, and I can take you to that Jedi temple.
Episode 5, Springtime for Dantooine. How long were we in that temple? We're rebels now! Rebels! Oh man, we've been arrested. We're bad at being rebels.
Rebels.
Episode 6, Prison Break. Chimera, please don't torture me. I like Bria's new fiance. I'm glad they rescued us.
Episode 7, Magos. Well, it's a lot of hookers and blow on this planet, and let's maybe steal Vox from an art collector. And I heard there's a wedding come up. I hope it's not a green wedding.
Episode 8, Return to Hope's Light. What happened to RC? He's an arsicle? Die, Chimera, die!
Episode 9, Hut Space. A Tale of Two Sisters. Vox, are you sure this is where we're supposed to be going?
We now return. We now conclude Legacy of Ash. The camera opens to Rusan. The countryside marred with the recent unnatural force storm. The charred ashen frame of a small girl riding slowly atop her weary bouncer. They had cleared the remains of the debris and were nearing where Law believed the Jedi camp to be, where Rain expected to meet her cousins once again. The closer they drew to the camp, however, the more dead bouncers they encountered. Law and Rain stopped to rest. Law had been overtaken by grief and sorrow. Her giant blue-black eyes flushed with tears as they softly made a whimpering rumble. Do you know them? Yes. Bouncers, family. As Rain looked over the corpses, the sight gave her chills. They had been shot down. Most of them had foamy mouths, and their soft blue-black eyes had gone gray. War made Dark Jedi mad. Dark Jedi made Storm. Storm made Bouncers sick, made them angry. Our minds always talking. Once Storm came, all minds screaming. Even ones far away no longer talk, only screaming. But you talk. Because Rain saved me. Rain not like other Jedi. Rain care for bouncers. The girl reaches out her arms and hugs the bouncer as tightly as her tiny arms can reach. From behind, two men dressed in brown Jedi robes emerge from a nearby bush. Jedi. Rain delighted as she finished her hug. One of the Jedi points and yells, "Bouncer, look out! Hurry, it's attacking the child!" The other one lifts a blaster rifle and fires several times, striking true. Using the Force to avoid hitting the little girl, Law collapses heavily into the earth. Several tufts of fur smoking from the shots. Stunned, Rain takes a few steps back, looking for Law to move. When the realization of what just happened hit the little girl, she began to scream. She was still screaming when the first Jedi ran up to her. "Are you okay, little one?" She turned her gaze to him. His neck bent quickly, like a twig, snapping. The other Jedi, rifle in hand, blaster barrel still red hot from the shots, fell a moment later in turn. Only then did Rain stop screaming. She collapsed into a heaving cry as she embraced Law's still warm body. It was here where Bane found her. The small child holding her fallen companion, two Jedi, their heads twisted at obscene angles. She looked up at him, her eyes having cried all they can, now flush as red as her face. She could feel the power. He could feel the power of the Force running through her, burning through her. A font of grief, hatred, and power. He stood there for a moment, towering over her, taking stock of the scene, giving her a moment to collect herself. She stood, rising defiantly, ready to burn the rest of the world. "Who are you?" Bane demanded. Rain's eyes lingered on Law for a moment before she turned to the towering man before her. My friends used to call me Rain. A childhood nickname given to me by my cousins. But they're all dead now. My real name is Zana. Do you know who I am? She wiped the tears from her face and nodded. You're a Sith. You're not afraid of me? She shook her head with confidence, but her voice belied her fear. No. I have killed many people. Men, women, even children. Zana's hands tightened into fists, her fear washing away, leaving only anger. I am a killer too, she said coldly, stepping closer to the fallen Jedi, closer to Bane. She stood in his shadow, his frame towering over her. He stared at her for a few moments, contemplating her fate, maybe even his own. Do you know the ways of the Force? Do you understand the true nature of the dark side? Her gaze locked with his. Unwavering, her eyes tightened. No, but you can teach me. I am young. I will learn. The camera opens on Nar Shaddaa. We see our heroes entering a limousine, a stretch speeder that converts into all manner of crazy things. And you guys are being summoned back to Kor Kunalak. You have been summoned to take a ship under fighter escort to the planet Pybus through the Dead Road hyperspace lane. You guys transfer from this ship at Kor Kunalak. You enter this very sleek interspace barge. It's very small. It's a pleasure yacht. There are 2 Hutt fighters flying escort. You guys jump into hyperspace. Time passes ever so slowly as you draw closer to what you assume is your final destination. You see Vox, his viewfinder, cycling through different modes, processing all the encrypted information that he has access to, preparing as he can. for the task ahead. What do you do to prep for Pybus? How do you feel as you approach the planet?
I'm pretty apprehensive. I'm kind of just cycling through my gear. I have no idea what we're going to encounter. I don't know if we're going to have to wander this planet for 5 days and come up empty-handed or find some other stupid clue. So Bruto's just kind of going through everything, making sure his gear's in order.
I'm just sitting like cross-legged on the floor, staring out the closest window, because I know something's about to happen. Like, I can feel that we're either, one, going into something dangerous, or B, we're going to come up empty-handed and we're going back to something dangerous. So, I'm just processing life.
And all the bad choices you made
Yeah.
up to this moment.
And I occasionally try to hold something up to Vox to see if he wants to trade, but he's not.
He's
He's
completely
I
unresponsive,
just try to see if he's going to come back.
Yeah.
For the most part, Remy has been, I guess, meditating with the holocron.
Okay.
He still puts his headphones in when he meditates, but doesn't necessarily like play the music that he used to.
It's all dark and moody now.
Yeah. And
It's 2006 all over again.
It's the kind of music Anakin Skywalker would listen to.
Oh, totally, yeah. A bunch of, like, the Star Killers, you know, Mr. Lightside, and
Yep.
a bunch of that. But he's been, I guess, being taught, seeing lessons that Darth Sana had put in this holocron. And it's been making him very angry.
So like there's a shot of him just like breathing.
There's
Just,
like even a shot, I'd say, like as we get closer, that like he opens his eyes and it's a close-up on his eyes and they're different. And then he blinks a couple times and they kind of fade back to blue.
Okay.
And
So you go back into meditating, and the next time you open your eyes is moments before the ship drops out of hyperspace. And the last thing you hear in your meditation is her voice. And she says, "I have taught you all that I can with this wretched device. Find me, my student, my apprentice, and I will show you the ways of the Force that you couldn't possibly imagine." Your eyes open, the ship drops out of hyperspace to a giant jungle planet, a swamp planet, a bug planet. Sorry.
I wasn't gonna say it.
I mean, this campaign started out with Starship Troopers. It needs to end with Starship Troopers. You guys drop out of hyperspace. You begin slowly descending towards the planet. And all of a sudden, there are proximity alarms popping up. Someone has followed you. And the comms immediately spark to life. You're not flying the ship, but you are you bring yourself to the cockpit when it drops out of hyperspace.
mm-hmm.
And there's a bounty hunter in the pilot's seat. He's flying and he's just yelling in some foreign language, and you can tell something's wrong. What do you guys do? Or mostly, what do you do? So you're privy to this information. So.
What's wrong? What's going on?
He looks back and someone followed us. It might be a trap. Some of Jabba's goons are waiting for us, I guess. You and the others brace yourself. and immediately explosions start happening, and there's fighters. One of the fighters off to the side just blows up in a fiery explosion, and the ship just lurches, and this is where you guys know that something's not right.
I also run to the cockpit.
And as you're running to the cockpit, Remy's kind of heading back, just being yelled at by this guy. Just, sit down! Buckle in! We're coming in hot! The 5 point, yeah. Alright, so you guys come in. You hear comm chatter kind of echoing down the hallways. It's a very small, kind of pleasure yacht. And you've even probably hacked into the comms at this point. And
You gotta have something to do
yeah,
on the flight.
yeah. And so one of the fighters is destroyed. The other one is taking a lot of hits. I've got shield full rear deflectors, and he explodes. And you just feel a missile come in and just detonate way too close to your ship, and you feel it just start to drift, and you know that the engines are shot, and as you kind of bring up the display, you see that it is way too close to the planet. Even if you were to somehow fix the engines real quick, you guys are trapped in the gravity well, being pulled in.
Just once, I would like to land a ship.
That's fair.
Is it too much to ask?
Yes.
We're spacefarers. We should be able to figure this out.
Yep. You guys have 3 ranks in crash landings, though. To be fair, yeah. To be fair, you guys
some kind of escape pod or something.
Yeah. So you guys can either stay in the ship or you can try and find an escape pod.
I vote escape pod.
Okay.
Yeah,
Deal.
I think this thing's gonna
Okay.
splat on the surface, especially if we don't have engine power.
Yep. So you check and you see in Huttese, it has a small speeder that you guys can get into, like a personal escape vehicle. So you guys race back to it, hop into it, you fire it up, and you release. And immediately upon releasing, you see a fire spray and another kind of like. They're called uglies, but they're like a misshapen mismatch of an X-Wing and a TIE fighter put together. It's
They
pretty.
got the X-Wing cockpit and the TIE fighter solar panels, don't they?
Yep. So it's coming in. They're lighting your ship up. You guys, you see that one just kind of going off in a different direction. You pay no mind. You get out of there, and one of the ships pulls off after you, and the fire spray stays on the big ship and is chasing it down. You guys, I'm going to have you roll a piloting check, and this will be
Save us, Remy.
This'll
You're our
be-
only hope.
1 red, 2 purples, and 2 setbacks.
Can I use my talents to remove setbacks?
What are your talents?
Oh, you make me actually have to look at it.
If you use force bullshit, I need to hear
Skill
that.
jockey.
Force bullshit.
Remove setback per rank of skill jockey from
Perfect.
the piloting plan.
So the setbacks are a fighter hot on your tail, and so you just kind of slip back into your TIE fighter
I
days,
actually have one of those.
and you immediately just start doing evasive maneuvers.
Okay.
Okay. Roll it.
That's... Oh, heck yeah. So that will cancel, giving me 3 success and a triumph.
Perfect. You are thoroughly able to evade this ship. This isn't so much an escape pod as it is like a luxury class speeder with all the moves, all the speed that you could want. This thing handles so sweet. What would you like to spend your triumph on?
Part of that triumph is just Remy, like, I think being in the zone.
Okay.
Just like getting behind like the wheels of something again, like
Deal.
that actually handles, and
So-
it's sort of even taunting
Okay.
that one that like came after us. Like he pulls some maneuvers to like basically let that pilot know that Remy is the most badass pilot on the in the galaxy.
Deal.
He slides into that cockpit and just danger zone comes on.
So as you're flying down as gracefully as a butterfly that took ballet classes, you're coming in and your comms just get taken over, and you hear a Trandoshan voice say, "I haven't seen moves like that since..." what was that Corellian swoop
The Corellian
race?
Classic.
The Corellian Classic.
Since the Corellian Classic!
Oh, son of
Why are you back?
And as you're kind of flying, you do feel a pull, a slight tug pulling you in a certain direction. So you start, maneuvering and evading this ugly as you're coming in. And as you're kind of below the cloud cover, as you kind of drop below the cloud cover, you see this giant structure up ahead. It's very simplistic in its architecture. It's very monolithic. It looks, it's just smooth stone pyramid with different kind of corners jutting up into this massive structure. It absolutely looks like a take on a temple. And that's where you're being drawn.
Seriously, how have we not killed this guy?
I don't know. But how did he follow us here? More importantly, what are we
Tell
gonna
you.
do about it?
For once, we're not at fault here. And if push comes to shove, this bounty's not going to end up on our heads. Because I'm sure the Kunalak clan is not going to be happy about these guys showing up.
Lighten up their fighters,
Mm-hmm.
lighten up their yacht. What do you do, Remy? Your hands on the controls. You could bring it in towards the temple. You could... as far as you can tell, this is just a fast... It's like a bullet bike. You don't have any weapons that you can ascertain. Everything's written in Huttese anyways, so you don't even know where to... You're barely lucky you can fly this thing as good as you can.
I mean, a bike's a bike.
That's true. That's true. But for some reason, the blinkers only go up and down and not left and right. So you're like, I don't know, man. Yeah.
Like,
What do you do?
orientate the bike sideways so the blinkers
They
are
fly
right.
it sideways? I don't understand.
It flies sideways and it handles so much better. You're like, oh, it's a B-wing.
But
Okay.
I'm laying sideways.
I don't know. I'm kind of like torn. Do I go straight for the temple, or do I want to try and deal with this guy? I think with the headspace Remy's in, he's probably, for once, task oriented. And so I think, we more head to the temple, but I might try and shake the guy as we do it.
Okay. I kind of like the shot that maybe as you're coming in, you're heading straight for the temple, and you kind of stop evasive maneuvers a little bit. And even once you guys drop down below the cloud cover, even Vox is like, whoa, as he sees the temple. Mm-hmm. You guys' eyes are drawn to it. This is looming. It's terrifying looking. It's truly what looks like a place of darkness. Obviously, the planet's already dark. It's already, murky. There's not a lot of sun that reaches this part. It's either night or the way the clouds work doesn't shine a lot of light on this area. And you just see this giant silhouette getting closer and closer. As you're kind of pulling up, you see Shev pull up right next to you. And you can either kind of ram him, or he doesn't look to be threatening you. He's just kind of looking at you, and he's just giving you one of those through the cockpit window. What do you do?
Haven't you got some kind of ace pilot nonsense?
I do, and I was actually thinking about using that. I think I'm going to showboat a little bit, or maybe even... Let's do a Corellian send-off. Yeah, let's do that one.
Okay. And what is that?
I make a cool check, and it makes him crash a little.
Okay.
So it's a hard cool check.
He reaches up and hits that little button and pulls the aviators out from the sunglass spot.
He might not be able to read a single lick of language in this cockpit, but he knows where the aviators are.
So that's my roll.
Deal.
3 yellow, 3 purple. And...
What?
Wow. I did not succeed.
Remy's not cool.
But I have, 2 fail and 2 advantage.
Okay. What would you like to use your advantage on? Unless you want me to spend it.
Go for it.
Okay. So you pull down some sunglasses, you put them on. It's dark as hell. You can't see anything, and you actually crash into them. You guys go spiraling to the ground together. The good news is you take them down with you. The bad news is you failed.
Yeah.
And your crewmates give you a lot of shit.
Remy, why'd you put on sunglasses?
Just once I want to land.
Crash landing, box, prepare yourself.
I'm going to need a daunting piloting check from you.
Daunting
to land it. Yep.
Vox has gotten a lot of mileage.
I'm going to make one a purple, or one a red.
Okay.
Make one.
Vox has gotten a lot of mileage out of those magnetic locks on his legs.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. And since Bruto's yelling in my ear,
Okay.
I am actually going to showboat, so I'm going to take 2 strain.
Oh, great. Just what we need. This way we can crash into the ground really hard.
Perfect.
Does the escape pod have an escape pod?
No, it does not.
Don't worry about it, man.
Famous last words.
That instantly does that. That does that. I'm actually going to, instead of having that one, take those. Have that one. And so I get 2 success.
2 success?
Yep.
Alright, so what is showboating then?
I get an automatic triumph.
Doing what? You're piloting?
Yep.
Okay. So, you did succeed. You get a triumph. Was there any secondary stuff?
This
Okay.
is just the 2 success.
Okay. So, you're able to successfully crash land. What would you like to use your triumph on? Like, that the ship is, like, salvageable, or...
Well, as we are going down, like, I feel the force, like, dragging me or whatever, and can I use it to find the entrance to the temple and just, like, fly the ship inside that?
Like, crash into
Like,
the
crash,
temple?
like, through the entrance, though, so, like...
Yes, you can.
Like, come to a skidding stop.
Yep.
We're just gonna coast our fighter
So you
right
just-
into that droid control ship.
You just, you're kind of flying, and you just feel someone's hands on your hands guiding you in, and you just crash through, like, these vines that look like they would have been a wall, and you enter into this, like, pitch black kind of temple.
Bruto shits his pants.
Yeah, I think we're screaming because we're heading for a wall.
Yeah, you're heading for a wall that's just covered in foliage, and you burst through these vines and branches, and you just crash and skid to a stop.
I don't think
and
it's screaming stop.
Kind of slams into a wall, and you guys completely stop, and then only then does Bruto go, ah.
I start undoing the bolt.
Yeah. So you hear basically alarm klaxons blaring on the control. It says, like, warning, and it says collision, and then it says something in Huttese, collision, Huttese, collision, and you're basically hearing collision in 2 different languages. Yeah.
It's very annoying.
Yep. So
we've already crashed.
Yep. So you guys, there's the control panel is smoking. You guys are getting smoked out of the speeder, basically. So as you open the door, unhook yourselves, you open the door and you step out, and, like, smoke starts billowing out of the little speeder.
Probably just immediately hit the ground and, like, vomit. So many concussions lately.
That's fair. That's fair. Yep. As you guys are kind of standing there taking stock of yourself, I'm gonna make both of you take, like, a crash landing check. So I'm gonna make that actually like a coordination.
Survival.
So we've got 3 ranks in it, right?
So coordination, but I'm also going to give you guys 2 boosts. You succeeded by 2, right?
Yeah.
2 boosts for each one of Remy's successes. And I'm also going to make you roll that as well.
Coordination?
Yeah.
Okay.
So against.
Or would it be coordination, or is there a different one that
I
might
think
make a lot more sense?
coordination's out of agility. I think that
Coordination
works.
works.
Okay.
What's that against? I'm sorry.
Yeah, so it's just going to be, we're just going to make it 2 purples. Your typical average crash landing.
Yeah.
We're
We've
used to
had
it by
worse.
I feel like anytime I make Sterling roll something, he just has to look through like his paperwork.
Well, I remembered
This
I
was
had
bullshit.
something for coordination. And do I get the 2 blue also?
Yeah. Brought it down like a dainty butterfly. Who also took ballet lessons. What'd you guys get?
I got 1 success, 2 advantage.
Okay.
I may have actually avoided the concussion on this one. I got a success, a triumph, and 3 advantage.
Dang. You guys are feeling pretty good about this. What do you want to use your triumph for?
On being coordinated.
He does
Like
that
cat-like
flip out of it.
reflexes. Yep. Actually, you've had a kink in your neck for
Yeah,
days.
it's corrected now.
And it
My
actually
back
like
feels
popped your neck, and
great.
you're like, wow.
You're
I can turn my head both ways.
Yeah, I might just survive this.
It may not be suicide after all.
I'm feeling great.
I had 2 success, 2 advantage.
Deal. So you guys land. It comes to a soft landing. It kind of crashes into some overgrowth. The ship is intact. You guys are undamaged. You guys collect yourselves for a little bit. What do? You're standing in this kind of entryway. There's no light. It's impossible to see. You guys have no idea where you're at, except for you're in a structure that you're hoping is the temple that Remy drove you into.
What happened to the other ship?
The
ugly?
You saw it kind of careen out of control, but you weren't able to see exactly what was happening.
Gotcha. Well, now what? I mean, we're here. If there was a place for some sort of mysterious artifact or weapon to be hidden, this would be it.
I just kind of want to get my bearings, look
Okay.
around the...
Yeah, you can either roll me a perception or a knowledge lore.
We'll do a perception.
Remy hasn't been reading all his Jedi books.
Oh, well, I have.
He just watches the videos.
And then he puts them on 1.5 speed.
I know I do get 2 blues.
When entering the Jedi Temple, you must...
What's the difficulty?
Skip this.
For perception,
Yeah.
I'm going to make it 3 purples, and you have 3 blacks due to the darkness.
I don't need to know how to enter the Jedi Temple. They're going to be bringing me in on their shoulders anyway.
Should just flip the headlights on.
Or a lightsaber.
So I fail with 2 fail, 1 threat.
Okay. So the threat will just be strain. And you look around, and as far as you can tell, there are no other doors besides the one you came through. It's a vaulted, it's a kind of trapezoidal room. There's really nice stonework floors covered in overgrowth. There's smooth walls that are covered in overgrowth. You've entered a cave of man-made or stone-masoned cave, basically. As far as you can tell through the foliage, you're not going to be able to find a door unless you start cutting through all this shit. And you do feel your force powers growing, but there are no answers for you in the force right now, except for frustration and anger and disdain for, Shev and whoever hell is in the fire spray.
Remy, how did you find this?
Yeah, how did we get here?
You guys always question me. The answer's always the same. 'Cause I'm awesome.
No, that's not the answer. We were heading for a wall in the side of a pyramid building. There was no way to see some kind of entrance into this, I don't know, cave.
That's where you're wrong, my friend. You only look with your eyes. There's
What
other
the hell
ways
else
to
do I
see.
have?
There's other ways to see, man.
You, as Var's standing here, you feel this cold presence swell over you. There's no draft. The planet itself is very hot and humid. It does feel like night, but there's no breeze coming through here. Remy's words are echoing off the walls, and you feel like you're being watched. You feel like you're freezing. You feel alone. You're feeling angry. You're feeling frustrated.
So with that, then I would want to find the exit and walk out of it.
Okay. Deal. So, yeah, there's probably 30 meters away, there's a massive entrance, and you can see now the blue kind of night through the vines, this giant hole ripped through the foliage where you can exit, and you start walking towards it.
Mm-hmm.
While you guys are talking, you just see Var start leaving.
Var, where are you going?
Away from here. I don't like it in here. Plus, I want to see where that other ship crash landed.
I don't know that anybody really likes it in here, but... So you said she's heading kind of back out the way we just crashed through?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm probably going to go with.
Okay.
Because I want to know what happened to the other ships.
Yep. As you guys start walking towards the exit, Remy, what do you do?
Vox,
What?
what's next?
He kind of straightens up, and you see his light dim, and you can hear him audibly computing, like a computer that's just working way too hard. And these two are walking away as he's computing. And as you guys probably get halfway to the entrance, maybe 2/3 of the way to the entrance, you hear the distinct sounds of a fire spray engine pulling up to the nearby area,
Oh!
and slowly setting down in a nearby clearing.
I think I want to hustle to the entrance then.
Okay.
To at least look out and
Yeah.
know what might be headed our way.
Roll me a perception.
I'm gonna yell back at Remy and I'm gonna be like, "Hey, I think we have a problem."
Of course we have a problem. We always have a problem.
I think we have a pretty eminent problem.
It's gonna be 2 purples, and I'm gonna give you a black because of the situation. I'm also gonna have to give you. Sorry, we'll just make it 2 blacks for the concealment. Because you're trying to. What are you trying to look at specifically? The fire spray, or
Just want it. So people are landing, right?
yes.
I want to see if I can identify them.
Okay.
Or what might be coming our way.
Okay.
I have a wash. No, I don't. I have a lack of success with 1 advantage.
Okay. So you just see the fire spray land. You don't hear or see any people coming from it. You know that fire sprays don't hold that many people, probably half a dozen at most. But the odds are not looking good. Your ship has crashed. What would you like to use your advantage on? What we'll say is there's a small pillar of smoke not far away where you suspect that the ugly went down.
Okay.
And it's probably not far away at all. Probably like 40 meters or so.
Well, I think I'm going to hustle back to where we were because I think strategically the best place or best odds we'll have are getting them as they enter into the darkness.
Okay.
Because we are adjusted and they're not.
Yep. So as you come back, you see Vox look up at Remy and say, he just won't, and he's just looking at the walls and frantically scanning, and you can tell his sensor is shifting modes, and you basically you see him walk over the wall, and he has a little buzzsaw that comes out, and he just starts cutting vines, and he's just like, womp, womp. And the more you listen to him calling out womp, the more you're hearing him say rain. Or I guess he would say, you hear him, he's saying womp, womp, womp. The more you hear him, the more you hear him say master. And you kind of feel yourself drawn over, and you put your hands through these vines, and you plant your hand on this wall, and you feel her presence. As you guys walk over, you see Vox wildly cutting vines away, and Remy with his hand dug deep into these vines.
What are you doing, Remy?
She's here.
Who?
Who? The weapon.
Is it she?
She's here.
We can deal with that in a minute. We've got company.
You doing okay, bud?
The fire spray landed and the ugly crashed somewhere nearby, so I don't know how many people we've got headed to our way.
We've dealt with worse. Let them come.
And as you say, let him come, you see silhouettes start to form in the hole of the entrance.
Well, are we ambushing?
Sure, I have no
Kind
idea.
of got our back up against a wall here, so...
Quite literally.
So are we on like an elevated, like the entrance or whatever we went in? Is it like high
it's
up
just
or is it
a
ground
straight
level?
back. The entrance that you punch through, there's like a small stairwell, probably of about 15 stairs that leads up to where you guys are at.
Oh.
They're to the point where they're like climbing up the foliage into the hole that you punched through.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're right at you hear voices yelling back and forth.
Well, I think I'm gonna take up a position and open fire.
Okay.
There's not gonna be good things coming our way.
Yeah.
Remy oddly doesn't feel like scared. He's feeling very like bold at this time.
Okay.
Bold and just furious.
So what does he do?
Instead of like taking cover or anything, he's just gonna kind of stand in the middle of the room.
Okay.
Probably with these guys yelling at him to get back.
Yeah, like the hush voice is like, Remy, what are you doing? Yeah. And Vox is not stopping. He's continuing his mission to cut through these vines as much as possible, making very audible noise. You guys kind of set up in the shadows. The speeder itself has internal lights that kind of cast a soft glow in the corner, like in the back recess of this room. And as there's like a wide shot from inside the room where you see you two disappearing in the shadows, and you see Remy stepping forward, and there's like this beam of light coming through this entryway, and it's like a blue soft light creating this oval on the ground of light, and you see Remy walk just right to the middle of it, and you hear through the doorway blasters power up, and then you hear, "Hey, my friend. Long time no see." You know this voice to be Bango's.
Remy kneels down on the ground, and you can see him like reach into the inner pocket of his coat, and then just kind of like pull his hand out, and he has his lightsaber in his hand, but he hasn't powered it up yet.
Okay.
And he's just kind of like kneeling on the ground and just waiting.
Okay.
Waiting
so-
for any excuse he
Yeah.
has.
Yeah. So you see Bango. He's making this. Because what was the last time we saw him? What kind of shape was he in?
The last time we saw
Was when we were
Bango,
escaping.
Yeah.
The prison?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was pretty beat up, wasn't he?
Uh-huh.
I think he had a pair of robotic arms and
Yeah.
he was pretty clanky.
Yeah. So he's making that metallic thud with each step he takes. One of his cybernetic legs. He's quite the customer. You even see like one of his eyes has been replaced with a cybernetic red.
I don't think all of that was us.
He's been busy.
At this point, he's addicted to cybernetic.
Yeah. Way to go, guys. So he's just kind of clunking forward, his weapons kind of hanging loosely at his side. And he's just kind of laughing, and there's this kind of robotic twang to his voice now. Remy Novus. Strange meeting you here. Couldn't imagine you'd make it to a hut homeworld. But it appears that we both have friends in the right places. Let me guess. And he looks around. This is where it is. This weapon of yours.
It's here.
And then you see Chev step in. He's probably a couple paces behind Bango. His cybernetics clanking as well. So, do you want to do this the easy way? Or the hard way?
I count 2 of you.
I count one of you. Unless we're talking about that crazy droid in the back.
Where's the third one? What was his name? Grinder?
You know damn well what happened to him.
Don't worry, guys. You'll see him soon.
And where's your friends? Not crazy enough to come on this mission with you? This is the really cool part where you guys pop out.
Yeah.
What do you guys do, if anything?
So it's just the 2 of them that entered?
Yeah.
Or all that there is. I want to take a shot at Chev.
Well, I think, like, we step out, guns leveled, powered up, and I think Bruto just says, well, we can do this the hard way, or the easy way.
Isn't that what I just said? And then kind of Chev and Bango look around and they kind of start laughing. Say, you should have brought more people. And they kind of raise their weapons to a kind of readied stance. You guys are kind of just at a standoff, I guess, at this point.
You're outnumbered now. Why should we have brought more people?
Oh. You are so simple, sweet girl. It's too bad you didn't have a brain in those Laku of yours.
It's a little rude.
You see, you haven't changed at all. But hey, Bango might be able to make an exception for you. Your friends, they die.
I don't think I like what your exception is.
Oh, that's too bad because I got to know your sister a little bit while she was on World. She's a real good fuck.
I'm gonna take a shot at him.
Yeah, I was like, I think I'm pulling the pin
No,
on a
I'm
grenade.
gonna take a shot
it.
at him.
Roll it first.
What am I against again? I'm bad
This
at
is probably going to be 2 purples and probably 1 black due to the darkness of the room.
Can I aim?
100%.
I'd hope so.
What do I have here?
Oh my god, Var shot someone.
What do I have? Thank you. Thank you.
3 success and 1 threat.
Thank you. 3 success and 1 threat.
Okay. How much damage you do?
What's that plus again? It's been a long time since
Plus
we've
3.
done this. 8.
All right. Okay, so you see,
Are these guys adversaries at this point?
they're Nemesis.
Let me see.
Yeah, but also, that means that there's certain mechanics, isn't there?
Yeah.
Stop
it!
Sorry.
Stop it!
We'll take that into account for future checks. This is just the first, the cinematic
This is the
shot.
pot shot.
The shot that starts everything. And you actually see your shot strike true. And a giant blue shimmer surround Bango. And then he just starts to laugh. And he raises his blaster to fire back, kind of thing. At this point in time, we're going to roll initiative. Everybody will be rolling cool checks.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so we just did initiative. It will be 2 PC slots ahead of one villain, then 1 PC slot, 1 villain. Okay, you have 2 PC slots. I would recommend maybe Var going later, as she just went.
Yeah,
I want
I
to throw a
agree.
grenade.
A grenade?
A grenade.
Were you guys not there when we passed out grenades on Grenade Day?
No.
They didn't give me one. They said, you're not responsible. Criff them, right?
Now I got a
Am I
laser
right?
grenade.
Alright, roll it. It is
please. Oh, no, I
2
don't need
purples, but I think those are still upgraded.
it.
Oh yeah, you didn't explain Nemesis rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're both adversary 2, which means you upgrade 2 dice at minimum as a baseline.
So an average is
And
now
you
2
have
reds.
a black.
Yeah,
because
so you have 2
it's
reds.
dark and shit.
And
Right?
1 black, yep.
I want to upgrade the die.
Okay.
For another yellow, please. Is this the Triumph one?
I don't know.
I hope so.
You realize how hard it is to keep track of dice as they're being slid all over the table?
I think
Yep,
it was.
Because that was the one I definitely gave you.
So, I have a lack of success, a triumph, and 2 advantage.
Okay. So you throw the grenade, and it misses. Triumph, you can definitely knock one of them prone from the explosion or something like that. Advantage could be that you create debris to take cover behind or something like that.
I want to knock Bango down.
Okay.
Because fuck Bango.
Deal. Fuck Bango.
Fuck Bango.
Fuck Bango. Hashtag fuck Bango. All right.
I'm
Bango.
going to die behind cover.
Bango's knocked prone. All right. And then Remy.
So the explosion goes off, and Remy doesn't flinch, like, at all.
He has several ranks in cool, Jenny.
Yeah. I rolled 4 success.
So cool.
And then he just starts, like, yelling, and then bum rushes whichever one is still standing.
Chev.
Anime charge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I
Blurry
was
lines go
picturing,
flying
too.
past.
I just,
He's
like,
got lightsaber and one arm out straight. 'Cause
I
that's
just
how you run.
blink, and then reappear behind him.
Already post slash.
No. I can only get that ability out. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, watch A Flat Circle on Patreon.
Listen to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lightsaber sparks up,
Gratuitous lightsaber fire.
and,
Yeah.
yeah, it's go time.
Deal. So you charge Chev.
Yep.
It was a flashbang.
Yep.
This was all to cover his attack.
It will be a double move to get to melee with him.
Okay, that's fine.
Which is no problem, but that just makes 2 strain, and you can't aim. Cool.
Can you aim a lightsaber? You can.
You sure can. Next round.
And it's 2
On
minutes.
your birthday. It's his birthday next round? I didn't even get him
I didn't
anything.
get him a cake.
He's gonna be super mad.
We could have had blue milk.
Okay. So that's cool.
You can tell it's Nemesis Day because our dice crapped out.
The funny thing about 2 Nemesis is when you say you should have brought more people, their rules are really weird.
I got 1 fail and 4 advantage.
Deal. So, right, so you run up and you just swing at him, and as you go to bring it down into him, his metallic arm just crushes into yours, and he just starts squeezing, right? And
So he catches my arm.
yeah, so he catches your arm.
Oh, we are full blown anime fight.
You guys are about to start running up buildings. What would you like to... You have 4 advantage?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can definitely, like, line up a shot against Chev for her. I mean, she's probably going to shoot at Bango, let's be honest. you can. I think there's a melee combat fighting defensive thing that you can take for 2. Yeah, it's yeah. Anyways, I know that it costs 2. You get a setback when they're trying to, or they get a setback when trying to melee with you. It's
Okay.
like a defensive stance or something like that.
Yeah, let's do that. And
That'll
then,
cost 2.
For the other 2, I would like to give the next person that attack Chev
Okay.
advantage.
Deal. A boost.
Boost, yeah.
I'd gladly take advantage.
Deal.
They get to
Alright.
roll 2d20s.
Oh, cool.
We'll figure out what that means.
Cool. It's still 1 point per number above their armor class, so you could deal like 20 damage to them if you crit. Yeah, cool. That was 2 PCs, so Chev is going to go because Bango is reeling from the concussive blast. So he has feral strength, being a Trandoshan, so he adds damage to all brawl and melee attacks. Cool.
Thank you, guy.
So he actually
pull out my
pulls
entire
out,
striker page.
he actually reaches down and pulls out a vibro axe and gets ready to cut your hand off.
Oh,
Classic
it's Star Wars. Watch out!
Classic Star Wars.
I would like to also add dodge for 2 strain.
Okay, which means what?
You upgrade twice.
2
Remy's a nemesis.
purples to red?
Yep.
Remy's a nemesis. It's a Remesis. Sorry. Actually, you know what? I'm not sorry. I'm not even close to sorry. Alright. He has... I'm just looking at his skills right now. Holy bejesus.
He's probably pretty
It's probably
good at
strong.
Melee 4. So he rolls 4 yellows for his attack. Can I get a yellow, please?
No.
Just one of them?
No.
Cool. Setback for your defensive stance still.
Yeah.
But it's 4 yellows, 2 reds, 1 black. Cool. Alright. And plus 2 damage. Okay.
Dodge, Remy, dodge.
Wow, double failures on both the reds. And
That's
that's
pretty
gonna make him miss actually. I have 3 successes,
Yeah.
but then 4 failures. So he actually has 2 advantage, and that's it. He fails with 2 advantage. So, he goes to cut your hand off.
Can I say, as he's doing that, I feel him kind of his weight shift, and it lets his, grip loosen on me enough that I kind of, can take a couple steps up him and, backflip out of his grab.
Yes.
And
We
which
are
also,
anime fighting.
No, for
opens
sure.
him up for the, advantage, the boost.
Super for sure. I'm all about cinematic as shit right now. Okay, so you just you break your hand free, run up him. He's kind of reeling backwards. He catches himself as he goes to swing at you, but he's so overexposed that you have a clear, unmitigated shot on him. He had 2 setback as well, so he's off balance for his next attack. Cool. 1 PC, which will be you.
I should shoot at Chev, but I'm gonna shoot at Bango.
That's the way the cookie crumbles. He is prone, which means he actually is more difficult to hit because of mechanics. So you'll have 1 setback because of that.
Okay, and then I've still got 1 because of...
If you close the distance, it'll be easier to shoot him.
But then I can't aim, right? No.
You can't aim with strain.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then it's
It's
No.
1. If
1.
you're closer. It'll be 1, but you got the extra setback because he's prone.
So now it'll be a red and a purple for difficulty if you close the distance. You get a boost from your aiming.
Mm-hmm.
You have a setback from him being prone. And I think there's another setbacks or another boost somewhere, but that might be for
That's
attacking
on
Chef. Okay.
Yeah, that's
cool.
on Chev.
Alright, so that's your pool. Do you want to flip any force points? Do you
Sure!
want to shoot Bango?
Yeah.
Or do you want to end him?
Well, that didn't work. I have a 1 fail and
1 fail, 3
3
advantage.
3 advantage.
Okay. So you fire at
Aim.
him as he's kind of clearing his head. He looks up and sees you, and he just starts tumbling away as you fire wildly at him, just kind of screaming at him. What would you like to use your advantage on?
I'm not 100% sure. Can I see where his... Because didn't you say he had some weird force field thing?
Mm-hmm.
Can I see or somehow
Yep.
figure out where that's coming from?
So on his hip, there's a small little hexagonal device that's kind of emitting a sound that's like just like a soft hum.
Okay.
And if you were to able to separate that from his body or destroy it or anything like that, it would turn off his shield. Cool.
Yeah.
So that's just, I'll give you that for one advantage.
Okay. I don't know what to spend the other 2 on.
Do you have 2?
I do
Just
have
give
2
someone a boost shooting at
Sounds
Bango.
good.
So it will go to Bango. He will use his movement to stand, and he will use his weapon to do stuff. Yeah. He's going to take a shot at you.
Sounds about right.
He has 1 setback for the darkness, and I think just 1 purple, right?
At close range, yeah.
Yeah. I'm also going to give him a setback, just because this is not going as he planned.
What does Vicious do again?
Vicious is increased crit, I believe.
Yeah, plus 10 per rank
Okay.
on your crit roll.
Yep.
Your lightsaber's vicious 3, right?
Vicious 2, but it only takes 1 advantage to crit.
Because it's mean.
I miss with 2 advantage. Okay.
It's very mean.
So he will give you a setback
Okay.
on your next shot.
Okay.
All right. 2 PCs.
I'll go ahead and go.
Okay.
I'm gonna take advantage of that open opportunity on Bango or Chev.
Okay.
So do I get the boost from that then?
Yep.
And that.
It's just a red and a purple. Now that it should have been last time actually too, because it would
Melee's
just
2.
be. Oh, it is 2, so it
Yeah.
has to be 2 red. Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
Fudge.
would you look at that?
Okay, but I do succeed.
Okay.
At what cost?
So we're gonna cancel out the success there and cancel out the failures on the.
He got double despair on his red dice, by the way. That's what we're like. Oh.
So 13 damage with, and then 2 crits.
Okay. And 2 crits.
And they're vicious crits.
Whoa.
Roll it.
All right, hold on 1 sec. Let me do some math.
Oh.
Gross.
Math.
All right, and 2 crits. Go ahead and roll them. Plus 10 on each.
We got 10 on the first, 20 on the second.
Mm-hmm.
73 on the first one, so 83.
That
Okay.
could be
Overpowered, the target leaves himself open. The attacker may immediately attempt another free attack against him using the same dice pool as the
Holy
original
shit.
attack.
Shit. Okay, let me roll the
Whoa.
second.
He's gonna
real
get
quick.
more despairs, and we're gonna have to figure out what that means.
no!
That one becomes a 36.
Is that plus 20?
Yeah. I rolled a 16.
He is staggered until the end of his next turn, which staggered is the only thing not listed in here. We talk about every single time.
I think you don't get a maneuver.
Whatever. He's about to get shit on right now.
Again, by another
So go ahead and roll it. We have double despair. I think we have to still figure out the the additional stuff.
Mm.
Or is this all just one attack?
I think this is all just one
This is
mess.
all-
So
Yeah.
what was the
Mass
final
attack.
results of that? Did you have advantage or threat or just the
I
two
spent the
despairs?
advantage for
Okay.
crits.
So just 2 despairs on top of this?
Mhm.
Okay. Alright, roll it.
Then
Yeah, I think that's a dead. I think that's a dead lizard.
I think that's a dead.
there's another 12 damage with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 advantage,
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
which I could use to completely destroy his weapon if I wanted, because it's 1 cost.
How much?
per
You're doing
rank
12
and
damage?
sunder. Yeah. Or I could crit him more.
Or does he just explode?
Yeah.
Too much advantage.
Tell me how you kill him, and try and incorporate your 2 despairs, or at least one of your despairs. How do you kill Chev?
Remy doesn't remember how he killed Chev. Remy blacks out in rage and just goes to town, similar to what he did in the cave, or in the darkness, or whatever it was called.
Yeah, Eversummer Forest or whatever.
He just, like...
Oh, I think he means
goes
the monkey
crazy.
thing.
The monkey, yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And just, like, clearly dead, but just
It's like
going to
chef
town.
agony.
And I think that possibly means, like, the next round I don't go just because I'm so focused on making Chev not be recognizable.
Deal. Okay, so
And
here's...
then there's probably another despair.
Deal. So here's what happens. As you run up him, you do a backflip, and what you do is you thrust with your lightsaber, and you just cut into like his upper shoulder, and you just pull it across him. You just cut him open like that, and by doing so, you kind of overextend, and the lightsaber falls out of your hand. Because you just ripped through it with so much rage, it felt like too easy of a cut.
Mm-hmm.
And so you kind of lose your balance, and then you turn to him with your empty hands, and you just reach out, and you just grip the 2 halves of him, and you just rip him apart.
Jesus Christ.
And like blood splatters. There's fucking blood in this, yeah. Blood splatters.
It goes to one of those X-ray moves from Mortal Kombat.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. The 2 pieces of him thud to the ground heavily, and then you smash them together and compress them like a garbage compactor, crushing Chev into this tiny ball of bone and sinew. But Remy doesn't remember that.
Yeah.
Remy just remembers taking care of the garbage. You see my trash compactor joke?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, I think another PC has a slot.
Well, I guess I'll just be lame and shoot.
I don't have any force
I've got
bullshit.
a gun.
Yeah.
If you're shooting at Bango, you have a boost. It's
I
really
will
the
be
only
shooting at
place-
Bango.
Yeah.
No, not all of us get lots of dice. So, no. Stupid.
2 reds.
Is Nemesis still 2 upgrades, or is there 1 for each?
It's 2 for each person.
Okay.
Yeah. And are you just... If you want to approach, you can make it a purple and a red. Okay.
No.
Okay.
Because then if he shoots, only gets 1 purple.
That's fair.
And I am aiming.
Do you want to use the force or anything?
No, we've got 1 force point.
Okay. So you're not terribly interested in finishing off Bango, the final boss? Okay. No, that's fine. If you're...
I'll use it. We'll try. We'll try. We'll see what happens.
Good.
We'll see how bad my gun explodes. Or how bad Bango explodes.
No.
So I have 2, 4, all my bad dice blanked.
Oh, wow.
So the force wants me to end Bango. I have 6 success with 3 advantage.
Okay. So what does that
that's
translate
gonna
into
be
damage?
15 damage and a crit. I will cash in my advantage.
Okay. You have how much advantage?
3.
Okay. You can crit him, or you can shoot his shield generator.
I'll shoot the shield generator.
Okay. So you shoot the shield generator. You hear his hip take a shot as well. Like it goes right through the generator. The thing explodes and like burns him, chars his clothing, chars his skin. one more thing he's going to have to get replaced at the shop, you know.
Well, at this point, he's just a frequent visitor.
No,
At
it's
this
his own
point,
shop.
General
It's
Grievous
one of
and
his-
him are going to be like
Best
going
buds.
going in for repairs.
They just meet once a week.
Generations
and have some
apart. I
time.
get it, but still, he General Grievous is going to be like a poster child for this guy. Right, so his hip explodes. He kind of collapses to the ground, holding his hip. He's still standing, but he's like really bad shape, and he's going to fire right back at you.
I think that's fair.
That's fair, yeah.
I just destroyed his hip.
That's fair. I'm actually going to give him 2 setbacks again. And he will shoot with 3 yellows, a green, and 2 purples.
Are you?
Well, I'm a slicer, so I'm gonna make him re-roll his computer's check.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Good thing he brought his computer's gun.
And then die right here.
Good thing he brought his computer's gun.
Spent all the XP on down
Right. I have rolled 3 failures on bad dice, so these 2 will cancel. Honestly, I'm gonna miss.
I mean, he did just get his hip shot off.
Yeah. I have 2 advantage and lack of failures. Yeah. So 2 advantage. Right. So he will use that 2 advantage to make the next person that shoots at him take a setback. Oh no! And 1 for the darkness too.
I know.
All right. I believe it is your turn.
Yep, I'm gonna shoot it. Bingo.
Okay.
So I have 3 setbacks. What am I against again? Okay, hold on.
A purple and a red.
And I get a boost because I'm aiming, right?
Whoa! Baller status. Yep. So it should just be a red and a purple for the bad stuff and 3
Yep.
blacks. Yep. Cool.
And then,
Do you want to use the force?
like, it's not an
Do
option.
you want me to flip some force points for you?
No.
No, I'm good.
You sure?
I'm good.
I have 6 of them.
I'm good. Thanks,
Okay.
though.
Okay. Yep. Maybe next round.
Catch you on the flip side.
So it's a wash. Correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Can't do nothing with it. Oh man, I should have gave you a force point. All right, so you miss. You were like so mad at Bango, you can't even shoot straight. Yep. All you're doing is seeing red. Okay. The round resets. There will be 2 PC slots. That means you can go again if you want. But
Yeah, I can't go. This
Red
round.
redemption.
Sure, I'll go again.
yeah,
I
just-
just have 1 setback now, right?
that's true.
I'm too busy turning Chev into a Japanese foil ball.
Oh,
Ew.
he's gonna be so shiny.
Stop it.
Jesus Christ.
Still
or
1 red.
scaly.
Still 1 red and 1 purple, right?
Yep. 1 red, 1 purple, 1
See if he
black.
can regenerate his limbs after this.
Generate this asshole.
Isn't that a line from a movie? Like
I
a
think so,
finale?
but I don't know
think
what
so.
it is.
I have 1 success and 1
Let
advantage.
us know in the comments below. Regenerate this asshole.
I have 1 success and 1 advantage.
What? You shot Bango?
I shot Bango.
A 10. You shot Bango. Alright, how much damage?
I added mid. It was 6. Either way, 6.
He soaks all your damage.
Yep. But my soul feels better.
Miss.
Shoot
Shoot.
in his shoulder pad. Oh, that's so sad. That's so sad.
I'll go ahead and shoot
Yeah.
Bingo.
Yeah. You brought a cap gun to a big gun fight. Yeah.
The other
This-
red, please.
No.
Well, then I'll have to roll this one twice.
What do
Need
you?
red.
That's so sad. Did you have advantage?
Yeah, 1.
Okay. Heal a strain. You feel much better about the situation.
I'm gonna aim and shoot.
Alright. Get it done.
Shoot Bango, because I can get through his soak. Maybe. I have lack of success with 3 advantage.
Alright. What would you like to do with the
Hit it
advantage?
too hard last time. We'll upgrade the next check against Bango.
Deal.
For
So
whoever
somebody
takes
has
it.
somebody has a boost.
And
You
a
can make him drop his weapon.
I'll do that.
Okay.
I've made him fall down. Might as well make him drop
Yeah,
his
so
weapon.
he's kind of like holding himself up barely. He drops his. You shoot him, or you shoot at him. You know his weapon falls from his hands, and he's just kind of taking stock of the situation. Remy reaches down and picks up his lightsaber right as his weapon falls from his hand, and he's kind of looking around, And he just... Hey, we can talk about this, right? Listen, I know we've had some rough times in the past. I know Bango is responsible, okay? But, to be fair, you guys dealt Bango some bad cards too. Can we agree on that? Listen, I can just pack up, take off. Whole thing was just a misunderstanding. Listen, I know Bango knows when it's a bad investment.
Well, see, here's part of the problem, Bango. I say, like, I'm leaving my cover spot with my rifle still trained on him. We don't have a working ship anymore.
Take the fire spray. Just drop me off at the next star. You'll never see me again. You guys looking for a business investor? You guys probably got... I mean, at this point, he's reeling and dealing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You could just give them to the Hutts. They're gonna be a little upset that their fighters and ships are destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
You hear a sound. One of the weirdest sounds you've ever heard come from behind you. And you just hear... from Vox.
I don't know that I speak that language.
No, he's not making any sense. It sounds excited.
Can Var go over there?
Are you going to go over there? Do you want to, or do you want to deal with Bango still?
I want both.
I want to have my cake and eat it.
I think I'm still looking at Bango, but I'm slowly like backing up, kind of towards Fox. So I'm kind of in between the both of them, because he's my baby droid.
Okay.
I think at this point Remy just kind of starts laughing, like kind of mimicking the Bango laugh. Ha! Bango, the party's just starting.
At this point, you hear Vox, a little metallic click, and you hear him interlock with the wall. And you feel the walls around you start to shudder as a door is opening behind you. Yeah, we can party. Listen, Bango knows how to party. You remember, come on, Corellia, Duro, come on, man.
Corellia, yeah. I remember Corellia. Do you remember Corellia?
Yeah, I remember Corellia. We were good friends.
You know, my memory's a little foggy. I recall Corellia is where our problem started.
No, you sold me that Lambda that you stole from, let me guess, the Death Star. That's where your problem started, friend.
You know, you're right. You're right, Bango. You're always right.
Hey,
You're always right behind us. Criffing ruining everything.
Guys, come on.
Triz, she's dead.
I didn't know.
Because of Grinder. Your friend, right? Grinder's your friend.
Listen, Triz and Grinder had
This
all
black eye. Grinder gave that to me, Bango. 2 days ago. Or however long. 2
Arbitrary units.
arbitrary
of time.
units that I can't remember how long we've been playing.
Listen. Listen, it doesn't have to end this way. Come on. Bruto. Var.
One of us has gone a little more psycho than normal. I can't help you with this.
Remy, what happened to Chev? I don't see him here.
That's water under the bridge, man. I didn't even like the guy. He was just a thug.
At this point, I pull Bango towards me.
Just like tell me what the camera sees.
Without even like moving my hands, the camera focuses on Bango's feet, like his one metallic leg, and they just kind of like ease up onto their toes and start dragging across the floor,
scraping against the metal
until he's like right next to me,
against the stone,
and I'm able to like grip him by his like lapels. And, like, Remy's eyes change again. And he lifts Bango up. He's like, Bria! Bria's dead now. Because you got her involved in this war. You attacked us on the prison ship. And then I kind of like throw him and he goes all the way back to like the wall. And then I like light the lightsaber up and just kind of throw it too. And it just like pins him to the wall. I'm like, you know the funny thing about today, Bango? The funny thing about life, destiny, you've tried so hard to get people to remember your name. Bango's bargains. Bango's blasters. After today, no one will remember you. But once she awakens, no one will ever forget my name. And I just kind of leave him sitting there, like pinned to the wall, and go follow Vox.
Yeah.
Remy, are you doing alright?
Doing fine, Bruto.
That was a little much, don't you think?
Do you have a problem with it?
Look, I don't like him any more than anybody else. But we could have just given him to the Hutts. That wouldn't have been any of our business.
But it's always been our business.
Yeah, it's been our business. You're right, he's been right behind us forever. It seems to be haunting our shadow. Won't leave it alone, but... I don't know, Remy. This place... Your eyes... What's happening to you?
I've awoken, Bruto.
Awoken what?
Womp womp. It's time.
Time for what?
Dun-dun-dun-dun. Womp 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 womp. The mission. The master.
Who is this master? What does this mean, Remy?
It means we never have to be afraid again. I'm going through that door, Bruto. You can come with me. Or you can go. But if you try and get in my way, I will kill you.
It's a little extreme, Remy.
I think I'm going to step closer to Remy and put my hand on his shoulder.
Okay.
Remy,
I just kind of like flinch and turn and kind of smack you, like backhand.
look, whatever's happening to you right now, it's not okay. This is not the Remy that I've traveled halfway across this carking galaxy with. Whatever this master means to you, you're gonna lose everything you were. If you haven't already.
It's destiny, Bruto. You can't deny destiny.
Destiny? Is this... Destiny and this Force nonsense? All this time we've been chasing some destiny? That's the grand scheme? Is trying to find some purpose for you to fulfill?
You tell
Can
me.
you not find meaning in anything you do?
Tell me, what are the odds in the billions of stars in this galaxy, the billions of systems, that droid end up on my ship. End up in close proximity to me on the day when I'm fed up with it enough to make a difference. What are the odds that on Dathomir, when we were sleeping in the caves, I saw her? I talked to her. You're telling me it's not destiny?
You get to make your own destiny. You don't have to follow what some other thing or person or carking droid says you have to do.
Womp.
You can leave this, Remy, right now.
No,
We can go. We squared up with the Hutts. We just give them the droid, tell them
Womp.
nothing was here.
Hey guys,
I think
let's
at that point
all
when he says
take a
give him
breather.
the droid, I lose control. Again.
Okay.
Not to the extent of Sheb, but I reach out with the Force and begin choking Bruto.
Remy, what are you doing?
I think during all of this, Var has kind of like started to back away a little bit, even from Vox, because his voice has changed a little bit, and everything seems kind of severe, and her whole world is falling apart. But yeah, at that point, Var would train her cap gun, as we've been
Pistol.
calling it, on Remy, and I'd be like, "Hey, what are you doing,
This droid is the key. You can't take him.
Remy?
do this.
Stop
I
it!"
won't let you
And I
take
shoot
him.
I shoot a warning shot because I don't actually want to shoot him, but I shoot a warning shot in his direction.
He's the key. He's the only one that can wake her. She trusted him.
Remy, leave him alone.
Why are you doing this?
I think I just kind of finally, throw Bruto with the Force
Okay.
across the floor.
Bruto shoots across the floor, tumbling like a rag doll into the dark shadows of the room.
I still
Var
have.
stands trained with her
Yeah, I still
blaster
have
at you.
my blaster on you.
What do you do?
Me?
Yeah.
I probably line up to take another shot because I feel like you have gone off. I don't know. I have no idea what I do. I have no idea how I feel about.
Bruto flies across
Yeah.
the room, tumbling like a
So
rag doll. What do you do?
I take a shot at not even trying to actually hit Remy this time.
Not trying to hit him?
No,
Trying
trying to
Okay.
actually hit Remy
Okay.
this time.
As she pulls the trigger, I pull the lightsaber, still lit, still pinning Bango to the wall, towards me.
So Bango collapses to the ground, your lightsaber flies back to you.
As the bolt is flying through the air, and I swing and smack it out of the way.
I've just got up against a wall, and I'm still holding a
So
blaster at him.
Your hand's probably trembling
Oh,
at
a
this point.
lot. And I'm trying to calm him down because I'm trying to be like, "Hey, Remy, we're friends here."
He's kind of trembling.
Yeah.
You're kind of looking around frantically, and you see that Vox is near you, and he's looking up at you. Womp? Womp womp?
Hi, Vox.
And he just looks at you. And if you were to ever know this droid, you could tell that he was sad.
Mm-hmm.
As the top of his dome opens, and a disruptor pistol comes out the top.
What you doing, buddy?
Womp. Womp 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 womp. And as you look at Remy, and him just huffing and furious, being denied his destiny by two peasants, Vox pulls the trigger.
I think before he does, Var, you can see her. She's already tearing up, but even more so. And she knows that she's about to lose, so she just drops her gun and everything.
As the blaster pistol thuds to the ground, the camera pulls to this wide shot, you see a brilliant white burst of energy hit the silhouette of Var's head. And then you see her frame collapse in a black shadow to the ground as well. Remy, you stand, the lightsaber in your hand, Vox having just downed Var, destroyed her. Bruto, his shadow not moving, his life force waning, flickering like a candle in the wind. This giant doorway leading into a small antechamber calling you.
Are you ready, Vox?
He doesn't answer you. He puts his blaster, he puts his disruptor pistol away, and leads the way.
I follow.
In the next room, you find a frame of a young woman frozen in carbonite. Her look on her face is defiant. Time holds no meaning over her. Trapped in a moment. There's a rudimentary computer panel on the side, very easy to figure out. What do you do?
Before I go to the computer panel, I think I walk over to the carbonite, I guess, statue in a sense.
It towers above you.
I just
It's
kind of
not-
like,
It's not massive, but something about it just looms over you.
reach my hand up and like touch it to her face. And I just say, "We'll finally meet shortly, Master." And then
Vox is like right there by the control panel, ready to thaw.
then go over and we hit the
Okay.
big button that's labeled defrost.
He puts in his port. He spins it. His eyes turn red, or his viewer's sensor turns red, and you hear this like starting to power up. You hear the crackling of stone. You see the surface light up, and this woman collapses before you. And you've heard of carbonation sickness before. You know, you're not quite sure what to make of this statue turned person. You kind of take a step back, not sure what to expect. You feel this force bubble around her dissipate and lessen, and you realize that she had trapped herself in a sort of cocoon, as far as you can tell. And as you reach out, kind of sensing her, getting a sense of her and her stability and her mentality, you feel a sharp riposte in your mind. She is very powerful in the Force. You pale in comparison to her. What a master she will be. She rises up, taking a moment to gain her bearings, looking at a room that she left moments ago and is now in once again. But instead of just her droid, there's a young man standing before her as well. She looks at you and she says, "Do you know who I am?"
You're a Sith.
Aren't you afraid of me?
No.
I have killed many people. Men, women, children.
I'm a killer too.
That will conclude our campaign. I present to you Legacy of Ash.